Welcome to Exploring with D-Rob. Let's go. Good morning, welcome back. Up in the red again today, headed through the Native Tunnel, the gateway to adventure. Today, headed out to the Clifty wilderness again. Going to see if we can find an old Forest Service arch, the question mark arch. We'll be stopping at a few other places along the way we've seen before in video. And if I've got time, maybe we can find us a new arch while we're out in there. Before we get started into today's adventure, I just thought I'd let you know that I refer to the arch that I go to as question mark arch. To make a long story short, after talking with Bill Patrick, the documented name for this arch will be Limestone Canyon Twin Arches. Now let's get into today's adventure. Let's go. Starting from the Osborne Bend trailhead this morning, like we was going to Eagle Point Buttress. You can either go downhill here and take the Douglas Trail, follow up the river. Going to start at Moonshiners Arch first, so I usually come in through the top. I'm going to head up Osborne Bend here a little ways and then cut over to Moonshiners. So look down on Moonshiners Arch. Been here a couple times on videos. I'll add some links in the description of how to get here. Gonna take a minute and get the camera out and get a couple images. I think the way the sun's coming in here, probably gonna be able to get a sun star. If anything turns out any good, here's the shot. I'll look back up through Moonshiners from below. Gonna head on over towards the river here, connect up with the Douglas Trail, head on out in the direction of Eagle Point Buttress. Next feature we come to is going to be North Fork Cave Arch. It's not a real big arch. You can see one side of the opening here. I'm working my way around to the other side there and take a picture back through it. This is one a lot of people probably walk by and never knows here. As you come up the river here, you'll come across a lot of limestone. Very little sandstone up through here. If you notice, like especially this rock looks really smooth. Get a little bit of that sand on there and it's very slick too, so Just watch your footing as you work your way up the Douglas Trail. As you come up the river, you'll come across these two small little tubes that go back to the cliff face. As you turn around towards the river here, if you look up the river and then up to the top of the ridge line, get your first looks at Eagle's Nest and Eagle Point Buttress. Right here. Kind of surprised to see these in the red this early bloomed out, but here's some southern red trillium. One of the campsites along the trail here looks to be getting a lot of use. As you see, you got a few sitting logs. You got a really nice fire ring built up there. Not exactly flat, probably wouldn't be too good for a tent, but plenty of trees would be a good spot to hammock camp. Next item of interest you'll encounter, this big squared off looking rock. Never really heard it called anything besides what the Red River Underground guys called it, and that's SpongeBob Square Rock. Coming out to this last campsite here, right along the user trail. It's a nice flat area. Would be a good spot for a tent, but if you want to camp here, just be aware it's right on the user trail. You could get some traffic through your campsite. As we walk on past the campsite there, this is where we're gonna cut uphill towards Eagle Point Buttress. I kind of doubt I go all the way up to Eagle Point Buttress today because there is zero clouds in the sky. No sky interest whatsoever, just all blue. So I may be coming back along the Douglas Trail here down by the river. But for the time being, I'm going to head up in the direction of Eagle Point Buttress here. Follow out along the cliff line. As you pass below Eagle Point Buttress, come around here, back to the head of this drainage. And look up at Eagle Point Buttress Falls. I've never been in this area after a good rain. I always find myself at other waterfalls. But maybe one day I'll get to see this one with some decent flow. The feeder to this ain't much more than a ditch, so it takes a really good rain for it to look like much of a falls. Followed around here to the cliff line. If we were on to Eagle Point Buttress, we would cut up this way. Instead, today, I'm going to head out towards the ridge end here, down towards the river again. Gonna do a little arch hunting and hopefully locate a Forest Service arch and photograph it and check it out. Pretty cool little spot here with some interesting geology. I was hoping this had a decent light opening behind it. Unfortunately, we don't have a light opening there. We do have a small one over here. But that's just gonna be big enough for a window. Kind of wishing I'd have been out through here before now. Some really nice cliff lines out through here. Came on around the corner, found this nice little slot that heads uphill here. See at least one opening right here. I'm gonna try to get over there and see if it measures out 3 feet. Really nice area here. Didn't find any holes aside from this one here that I pointed out a minute ago. It's shy of 3 feet, just a window. Pretty neat little window though. And usually on video it's hard to tell distance and height especially. This is very steep here. I came from right below that trees where I took the picture over at this window at earlier. Now I gotta probably slide my way back down out of here. In case you was curious as to what most of the hiking in Clifty wilderness is like, especially when it's off trail. Nice thick road. Working my way down from the cliff line some. The arch that I'm in search of is a limestone arch, so it's going to be down here closer to the river, right up there with all the sandstone cliffs. So get to do some wading through the road over here, try to work my way out through here. Well, I went to the cliff line earlier hoping I'd find an arch on the way out through here. Kind of wish I'd have just stuck to the lower trail, follows out above the river. As you can see, really easy walking out through here. Definitely know the way I'll be heading back out. As we come around here to the drainage, got some water flowing down. I can hear water falling over there. So I believe that I am probably above the arch. So I'm gonna try to work my way down there. See if that ain't the arch just out of sight there. Well, I'm not surprised, but I came in probably the hardest way possible to the arch, but here it is. Question mark arch. Well, this is not the waterfall that you could hear from the trail. This is just below it, as this makes a slot down through here. And can't really see it. Might be able to see the water falling up there just a little bit. This makes a slot all the way back up through there to the falls with some boulder jams and stuff where you can't get up there to access it. But I don't see any other arches up that way, as this is just a boulder that's fell down into the slot here. Still a real neat area here though. Work my way back down here to the actual arch. See my bag out there. I'm going to investigate this a little more. This could possibly be an arch here. As you look on up here, these are all boulders just wedged in the top as the slot continues on out there. I'm going to investigate this little area here a little better though. This could possibly be a second arch. Well, even though this is all busted up and everything, I believe it is still intact. So I believe we do have another arch here. I'll try to work my way back down here to the main arch. Here's a look back up towards the head of the arch, head of the drainage. Really neat area. Pretty much what we got here making these arches is a collapsed cave. As we work our way back out here, this here could easily be mistaken for an arch, but all it is a boulder that's fell down and wedged in between the walls there. Looking back up through the arch from the riverside, there's the arch opening, there's the river, drainage that comes through the falls, through the arch, runs down into the river here. Good look at the Red River. Found some deer tracks down from the arch here. I think after I photograph the arch, I'm going to follow the deer tracks because it'll likely lead to an easy way back up out of here. As I mentioned earlier, zero sky interest today, all blue sky. So I'll probably just follow the Douglas Trail back out of here after I photograph the arch. And, head over to Lock Bottom for lunch. The way I came into the arch is you go past the drainage, cut down into the woods coming towards the river. Once you get down close to the river, you can see where other people have come down the cliff line. There's a spot over on the other side here where you can come around this little ledge right here, or as you can see, this little clear area right here. There's a way to come down right there, brings you out right at the arch. By my measurements, the main arch here is 15 feet through, a little over 5 feet wide, and about 8 foot 9 inches tall. It's a really nice little arch here. I'm usually not a fan of limestone arches, but it's a really neat spot. The other really fragile arch there, kind of in the middle of the slot that I mentioned earlier, it's from the bottom there, 6 foot tall, and at the narrowest spot just before it really opens up here, it's 19.5 inches wide there. So I'm confident we got 2 arches here. I believe the rest of this stuff up in here is just boulders wedged into the slot. Alright, I'm gonna get the camera out and let's photograph this thing. Well, I'm not sure if any of the shots turned out any good. I gave it a try anyway. If they turned out any good, you've likely already seen them. One last look up the slide here. And one last look at Question Mark Arch. I'm going to go ahead and pack my stuff up, head down to the river and head on back up out of here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to follow a deer trail up out of here. The arch is just out of the side there to the left. Come up through here, cut uphill by these trees here, cut back up there to the trail. Made it back up from the river there, connected back up with the trail. Definitely going to follow this trail back out to below Eagle Point Buttress. If I'd have known on the way in that there weren't many arches along the cliff line up there, I'd have had me an easy trail, wouldn't I? That's part of it though. If you never check it, you never know if there's anything there. Really nice spot here below the drainage of Eagle Point Buttress. Nice bend in the river. Big old sycamore leaned out over the river here. It's a really nice spot right here. Coming back by SpongeBob here. Gonna try to make good time back up the Douglas Trail here. Unless for some reason I come across something interesting. Probably see you at the truck. Almost back down to the Osborne Bend trailhead now. I'm going to go ahead and sign the video off here. Got to see a new to me arch today. You got to go along with me. Pretty neat arch. Limestone arches usually ain't my favorite arches, but that one's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed today's adventure. If you would, be sure to give me that thumbs up. If you like the content of my channel, be sure to subscribe. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.